Welcome to the driver's seat. I'm Ron Doran. Over the years, we've driven many nice vehicles, exquisite vehicles, but Audis are still one of my favorites. What you're looking at here is the 2020 S7, and much like the way the architects who designed the house behind me really stretched the imagination with the use of concrete, metal, glass, and tile, the designers from Audi really stretched the imagination of how they bent the sheet metal. As you can see, a lot of glass, a lot of greenhouse, a lot of style with 21-inch wheels, and what's under the hood, a 2.9 liter twin turbo V6. So this vehicle to me is almost like taking an all-wheel drive Porsche 911, adding a second row, making it all-wheel drive, and you really have a very powerful vehicle that you can drive on a daily basis because it won't beat you up. I would like to think the 2020 Audi S7 with quattro all-wheel drive was really built for rainy days like this. This vehicle just instills so much confidence in any driver. It's amazing what they've done with this segment. Wow, so much power and so effortless. It's amazing, very impressive to see what happens when enthusiasts like the engineers and designers at Audi are able to create a vehicle like the S7 or even the RS7. It's a whole nother level, but the S7 is more than anyone would ever need. This always has been one of my favorite vehicles, and they've made some minor changes for 2020. For one thing is now they have room for 5. When this vehicle first came out, it was designed to be kind of a personal 4-door coupe, and the thought was that it would be someone maybe in their 50s or 60s, head of a company, who would rarely need to actually have anyone in the back seat. But what they found is that this vehicle actually has much broader appeal, and even some families who really want something fun to drive have realized that this is a great vehicle, and they can make it work. Because of the hatchback, you have a lot of the functionality that you would expect in a crossover. Obviously it's not a crossover, but the hatchback really makes it quite manageable. We had a bicycle in the back, we've had furniture in the back. It's really an extremely practical design. Now the S7, we're talking about $100,000 loaded up. Starts in the mid-80s, but once you start adding all the different packages, we have the quilted seats and some of the luxury package, and it really adds up quickly. The head-up display, as expected, brilliant. But I mean, look at this navigation system. It just blows me away. Powered by Google. I mean, it's actually showing you the buildings. No one really has anything quite like this. They're getting close, but this is just such a game changer. This whole MMI system, the way they've reworked it over the years, and so dialed in how you can customize the buttons, and just everything about this vehicle is just such a pleasure to drive. It's sexy on the outside, it's sexy on the inside, it's sporty, it's luxurious, it's whatever it is you want it to be. I think in this white color with the black trim just really pops. Just a thrill to drive. It makes a great exhaust note, so we have it in sport mode right now. Can't do too much at 30 miles an hour, but you kind of get the idea. We also have the Bang & Olufsen system, which is, in my opinion, one of the best audio systems you can get. Just the color combination, the quality of the buttons. Also, one of the nice things about this is you have this little hammer in the back, so you have the split screen, but when you actually hit something, it feels very tactile. It feels like you're touching something, and what's happening is, as you're touching it, there's a little hammer in the back that's giving you that feedback. It's a little different than the haptic feedback, and it's something unique to Audi, and just It's again just all these little things added up are what makes Audi in general, but especially this S7, just one of the most unique and just fun vehicles to drive and to just get behind the wheel and really really enjoy it. It's amazing how quickly you get to 100 miles an hour in this S7. And just effortless power, precise shifting. This is really a sports car. Just happens to have 4 doors and a lift gate, but it is such an impressive vehicle. The entire segment is loaded with unique special vehicles. But this one just feels lighter and more nimble than the rest. Audi's done a great job, not just with the S7, but the A5, S5 as well. Those are basically smaller versions of the A7, S7, and equally as impressive. Obviously a lower price point, but it's a smaller vehicle. Now they have a 2.9 liter twin turbo V6. It's the same engine that they put in the RS5, and it is something special. So by reconfiguring the design, they were able to actually take it down from a 3 liter to a 2.9 liter, more power, a little bit lighter, it's more efficient. These engineers, they are just obsessed. And this is one of the big differences I see with German car companies versus Japanese car companies. We just got out of an Infiniti Q60. It took them a long time to finally get into the twin turbo V6, and then that's it. They're probably not going to do anything to that engine for the next 10 years. Whereas you see with the German car companies, the VW Group, Mercedes, BMW, they're constantly refining, tuning, making improvements, making them as efficient as possible. I know we're all headed for electrification, but until then, I know these enthusiast engineers are going to do everything they can to keep the internal combustion engine alive and well by making it as efficient as possible and as fun as any driver could want. There are just some things an electric vehicle will not deliver. They'll keep dialing it in, but there's just something about just pure internal combustion power.